Horford, little step back, very friendly roll. That drops, and Detroit is able to get the victory. Cade Cunningham powers the way, 29-11. Again, the full highlight is forthcoming. Pistons move to 35-12. They are the very best in the Eastern Conference. The 35 wins, tied for the second most through January. That picture going back to the 70s, that's Dave Bing. Little protective headgear. He'd fractured his cheek earlier. Those that are Pistons aficionados from the early 70s, you already knew that. The return of the Joker. Nikola Jokic back after missing 16 games, the longest stint of his career on the bench. Denver held their own without him, 10-6 without one of the very best, if not the best, in the game. Over the past 3 seasons, they only had 11 total wins with Joker out, but welcome back, big fella. He can still. The Lakers were in the neighborhood. Alexander Ovechkin in the building with the youngsters to see the all-time leading scorer in the NBA. Of course, he's the leading goal scorer in history. In the NHL, that's Luka Jackson Hayes. And Wizards were on that defensive grind tonight, baby. 41 they surrendered in the first. Here it's DeAndre Ayton, LeBron with the left hand. Lakers up 22. Doncic 25 in the first half. He had triple-double. 25-point triple-double in the first half. Only player to do it in the NBA twice. He finished with 37, 13, and 11. Oh, it's James again. Wizards gave up a $142 tonight, Steve.
Yep, bad night.
Bad night. Afterwards, cool moment. James and Ovechkin swapping jerseys. I imagine that'll find a place on the wall of each of that gentleman's homes. All right, we welcome in Brian Windhorst, who joins me now. And Brian, the trade deadline is certainly great content for those of us who traffic in those lanes. Compelling. But is it ultimately a whole lot of chatter about nothing? And what I'm asking you is, do you really think somebody significant is going to get moved?
Maybe. Yeah, I know that's an unsatisfying answer. Here's the thing when it comes to Giannis. The more teams that I talk to over the last 3 or 4 days when this frenzy really has begun, the more they believe that it just makes sense for the Bucks to wait until the summer. And let me explain why.
Okay.
Obviously, the Golden State Warriors are very interested, although we're all hoping Steph Curry's knee is okay after him having to leave this game early tonight. But the Warriors' offer really is not going to change much between now and the summer. Certainly, the Warriors may feel like they could change it, but it's not like it's materially going to change. The other teams who are making bids, though, can make better offers in the summer. Okay, the Miami Heat could offer more draft picks. The Knicks could offer more draft picks. The Wolves can offer more draft picks. Plus, between now and the summer, the Bucks will be able to have more information. What I mean by that is they will know where their draft pick is, which I think they intend to low-key tank the rest of the season. They will know where everybody else's draft pick is in the lottery, and they, potentially those picks could be involved, if not directly, but indirectly through third teams. And you will just have a better sense of where you're going. And so, while I definitely think there is a lot of interest in Giannis and there are teams making these offers, I'm not sure that we're going to see that get done. And if you don't see that get done, you're definitely going to see other activity. You're going to see contenders make moves. But as far as star players or star players being traded or being traded to places that affect the title race, right now I'm not seeing a whole lot of it.
I'm interested. I would follow on that, but I'm going to pivot to the highlight that we showed a moment ago of Jokic returning for Denver, because OKC, I marvel at their appetite for right. They win a title and they are better in some regards this year. That's fantastic. But Denver with Jokic is certainly a threat. How do you view them? And I know there are others, the Spurs, I could go on, but just specifically Denver, how do you view them in the West at this point?
Yeah. I think Denver feels as good about their chances as they possibly could, because if you look at the way they were able to stay in the same position in the standings in the 16 games without Jokic, that could be the difference between them having a top 2 or 3 seed and not later on. And Jokic, he's having the best regular season of his career. He was my MVP before he got hurt, and no offense to SGA or anybody else, he's still my MVP. And, 31 points 12 rebounds in 25 minutes. And he's never come back from an injury like this before, Scott. He hadn't missed multiple games like this since like 2017. He has little experience with this, comes back and beats the team that's been the hottest team in the league. And, you know, David Adelman, their coach, said that they expect Christian Brown and Cam Johnson to come back around, when the All-Star break happens. So they're getting healthy. And I'm very excited about Sunday's game. They play the Thunder on Sunday. Jokic expected to be in that game. The Thunder are not whole either, but I am going to get very excited about these matchups from now and the rest of the season.
I'm with you. Still a lot of runway between now and when they really matter come springtime, but we're obviously talking about teams that we would expect to see there when they become the most important games of the year. Brian, as always, I appreciate your time. Have a great night.
You do.
Pleasure to welcome Jalen Duren to the program. Jalen, hey, it's Scott Van Pelt. I understand you've been hanging out waiting to come on, so I appreciate your patience here as me and Wendy are chopping it up and we're showing some highlights. You guys, of course, get the victory to move to 35-12. And I marvel at who you all have become in a short window of time. It wasn't that long ago. It's like a 2-29 team to start a season, and now here you are atop the East. What do you feel like has been the biggest steps in growth that has happened this season for your group?
I think just buying into the culture. I think last season when JB first came in, he established the culture and we all followed it. You know what I mean? He established a standard that he wants us to play at, and we just followed it to the best of our abilities. And you see that now. We're a team who loves to play with each other, who loves to get up and down, who loves the grit, the grind, and all the toughness of the game. And, you know what I mean? We just rolling right now.
I love what you describe about buy-in, because just looking at a stat sheet on a nightly basis, you've got 8, 9, 10 guys that could contribute significantly. I don't mean 30, but I mean double figures. And that's about buy-in. That doesn't happen everywhere in the league, does it, Jalen, where everybody's like, okay, I'm good with my minutes and I'm good with how many times I touch it.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody just has the same goal in mind, man. We want to win. We want to be a successful team in this league. We want to earn the respect of the league. And yeah, like you said, everybody just bought into the culture, man. We just want to win.
I think folks understand that you're not the kind of guy to pound your chest and say, look at me, so I'll do it for you. Look, who you've become in this league has been a giant part of this. How has that confidence grown in terms of you knowing who you can be for your team night in and night out?
Yeah, it's just the work, man. Just honestly, the summer work I've put in. I got to keep giving a lot of credit to JB. He's a guy who's gave me the confidence, who's put me in position to be as successful as I've been. And I think I got to give him the credit for the jump that I've taken. He's put me in all positions to be great.
Cade on the interview on the floor said Jalen for All-Star. I mean, that's certainly something that the Pistons in Detroit are roundly behind. I loved seeing that smile on your face. If that call comes, what does that represent to you? I mean, you said the work, but I mean, to say All-Star, what would that mean?
Man, to be an NBA All-Star is, it's surreal. You know what I mean? It speaks for itself. It speaks to the amount of work I put in. But that wouldn't be it. You know what I mean? That'd be a great goal. I'd be super honored. But, it's a lot more that we could do as a team and a lot more room for me to grow even. So, but it'd be a huge honor, man. And I know my family, my teammates, and everybody would be happy if, God willing, I'm blessed with that.
I love it, but you can't win the chip before All-Star game comes before the most important stuff as the group. So let's check that one. Let's check that one off the to-do list, and then we'll worry about the playoffs when the time comes. Jalen, I appreciate you taking a minute to visit, man. Send my best to your team. I appreciate it. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Jalen Duren.